my friends. We're going on a little field trip today, and then we're going to do a little bit of cooking. But we've been talking about the blue zone, and we're going to see how smaller neighborhoods are able to create their own local blue zones. Before we start our field trip today, we're going to put together a vegan sausage lentil soup. Now, the reason we're doing it first is because while we're out playing around and talking about our blue zone and taking a look at a community blue zone, we want to make sure that when we come back that we have dinner ready. That's what weeknight dinner's all about, being able to put it together and have it ready to go. So let's get started. Now, I'm sure you're thinking about, what? Sausage in a vegan dish? Well, guess what? Today, we're going to be using vegan sausage. And I want you to think about the fact that sometimes I'm using products that are available in the grocery store. I wanted an Italian sausage, which is normally what I would put in my lentil soup, but I needed to make sure it was vegan. So I went to the store and found a vegan sausage. And so I'm going to get that all chopped up and ready to go. And this isn't something I do every week or even maybe no more than once a month, if then. But it's a nice treat to have this particular sausage in your soup. Oh, by the way, as always, I like to place the recipe in the video as well as I'll add it to the description box. As with most soups, we're going to add some onions and all kinds of aromatics. We've got onions, we're going to have some celery, we're going to have carrots that are going to be in this particular soup. Now, the surprise is going to be that we're going to add zucchini that we got from the farmer's market. I've sliced it up and it's ready to go. We're also going to add in a couple of cans of drained lentils. They've been drained and rinsed, and I'm using those because I want this to come together pretty quickly. It's not one of those dishes that I want to cook all day. So within about an hour, I want all of the lentils to be tender and for the soup to be bubbly, and I'll be very happy, and so will my family. The good thing about cooking vegan is that we have to use a lot of the same products. Once we buy them, we're going to use them over and over again in different ways in different dishes. And I love that. In this particular dish, I've got to kick up those Italian seasonings. So in order to do that, I'm going to use some of my basil pesto because I know it's going to add the perfect level of Italian flavor that I'm going to want. And also, if you're not leery about spice, you might even want to put a few red pepper flakes in. I haven't done that yet, but I will do it before this dish is over. It's time to serve this soup up, and I want you to look at the fact that the beans have really soaked up, the lentils have really soaked up a lot of that liquid. So because of that, you may want to add more liquid prior to serving your dinner, maybe about 30 minutes out. Add another half box of your vegan stock, your vegetable stock, and that will help in making it more juicy. But now I like mine more like a stew, so I'm okay with not having quite so much juice. I am very blessed that we have a very treed and very au natural community. So because of that, you can see all of the trees and how beautiful they are. You're going to see our beautiful reservoir that's a part of the community where we live. And just about 2 minutes away from my house, I'm going to show you our community garden. Today I'm bringing you out to the Heritage Farms Community Garden, which is here in our neck of the woods. And you know, it's very, very nice. I'll show you a few things, a few clips here where our neighbors are able to come and to rent plots of land where they're able to grow whatever they want to grow, whether it's flowers, whether it's vegetables. There's even a beautiful wisteria that's here. And so there's just so much that's going on right here in this garden. And I thought this would be a great way for any of our communities to find a plot of land. This is approximately 3 acres, I'd say, maybe 2. And it has been divided off into at least 100 or more plots that can be rented. You can rent certainly more than one if you're a really huge gardener. And if not, then you have the opportunity of being able to just take advantage of all the green space. And that's what it's all about. When we're building our blue zones, we want to make sure that we are advocating and that we are talking to our neighborhoods. And where we have plots of land that may not be in use, that's a great opportunity, once you talk to those in charge, to start a green space and to be able to make it possible for those who may not have access to gardens, then they can have an opportunity to rent that particular plot of land, perhaps for the season. There's a young lady here working this morning, nice and early, getting her plot taken care of, and you can see it's kind of off the road, but what a great opportunity. It's a beautiful day to be out here. It's just a little cool, but it's a little breezy, but hey, let's garden together. The community residents had input into what actually went into the Heritage Garden. And so you can see we have a nice compost bin where we can put any waste that we might have, any weeds or waste or roots or whatever it may be. And it's allowed to compost there. And then if you need to use some of that compost when you're tilling up your garden, you can certainly do that. So it's available for you, and of course that's free. Now, they have also accommodated a watering system so that there are hoses all along the walkway, and I'll show you that as we go. And that's available to the residents as well. So typically what happens, the hose will only go so far. So you may have to, depending upon where your particular plot is, you may need to bring a bucket so that you can water your flowers or some type of watering device to be able to do that. So let's take a walk. It is peaceful, it's breezy, and it is a beautiful spring day and a great day to take a look at the garden.